I would say the best way to describe it is that this is a postgraduate degree. So it is seen as a training, as a form of training, and that means that you are not being paid during this training. Yes, that's the elephant in the room. You are not being paid during your clinical residency year in Russia. But one thing I can tell you is you will definitely learn. You see all those times when you were in undergrad, you were complaining, hey, we don't have practicals. Hey, they don't. By this time, during your clinical residency, you are addressed as a colleague. Yes, you are addressed as a colleague. You are addressed as a doctor. So you are going to be treated as one. For surgeries, you will be going to the theater. Hi, my name is Dr. Joyce Busola. Welcome to my channel if you are new here. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by once more. So guys, today I'm going to be putting on my doctor shoes and I'm going to be sharing with you all about clinical residency in Russia. So I'm going to be sharing this video for three reasons. One, because I'm a current clinical resident in Russia and my specialty is in dermatovenerology. Two, because I remember when I wanted to make this decision, I had a lot of questions. I was able to get answers from various people. However, there was no resource. It wasn't like I could go on YouTube and I could find a video where a foreigner like me is sharing all about their experiences. So I just felt it would be wise, to pay it forward and share it with you guys as well. Number three, because ever since I announced that I'm staying here in Russia to do my clinical residency, I've gotten a lot of questions, and today I'm going to be sharing all that you need to know. I'll be sharing with you what's clinical residency all about, what's the duration, what's the cost, how do you choose your specialty, what does it entail, what are the clinicals like, do you have lectures, do you have exams, how do you apply, are there scholarships, are you even being paid? Those are the questions I'm going to be answering today. So without further rambling, let's jump right into the video. So guys, in no particular order, let's start. So the first thing I want to share about is what is clinical residency. What is clinical residency all about, especially here in Russia? So clinical residency is a specialization in a particular field of medicine, okay? Basically, it's a period of 2 to 3 years. I'm in here in Russia right now. It's a period of 2 to 3 years where you are trained in a particular field of medicine that you have chosen, so you can become a specialist in that area. So take for example, I am a clinical resident in the specialty of dermatovenerology, meaning I'm going to be a dermatovenerologist after my 2 years of clinical residency here in Russia. Also, I think it's important to note that clinical residency here in Russia is more like a postgraduate degree. So the way you have 2 years of public health, the same way you have 2 years of clinical residency or specialization here. However, you can decide to subspecialize after, or you can decide to do a PhD to add, to what you have. Reason being that clinical residency in many other countries is about 4 to 8 years, depends on the specialty. So yes, specialization or specializing in a field of medicine actually takes such a long time. However, in Russia, I would say the best way to describe it is that this is a postgraduate degree. So it is seen as a training, as a form of training, and that means that you are not being paid during this training. Yes, that's the elephant in the room. You are not being paid during your clinical residency year in Russia. Now, let me re-emphasize, it is a clinical training. So the same way you have internship of some sort, it is considered your own internship, just that this time around is not just a general internship, but in a particular field of medicine that you will love to specialize in. So now, how do you choose your specialty? In my case, I've always been interested in going into the beauty industry, and I'll be honest with you, during my years as a medical student, there were so many times I felt like medicine wasn't for me, but for some reasons I just kept on doing more research into dermatology. I just had a thing for skincare, for beauty, and I felt like, okay, this was the specialty for me. I've been saying this since like my third year. So when it was time to choose a specialty, I didn't even have to think about anything else. It was just dermatology. I just went straight for it. In your case, maybe when you are finally done with your 6 years of medicine, or maybe your 5th year, if you are going to be doing clinical residency, I would say you should already make up your mind at least by your 5th year first semester you should know, sorry, by your 6th year first semester, you should know what specialty you want to go for, because it will direct you towards the research that you want to make, okay, so that you get the right information based on your specialty. So yeah, you can get, what am I saying, almost, you can get any specialty in clinical residency, okay, be it orthopedics, be it surgery, be it cosmetic surgery, be it gynecology, obstetrics, pediatrics, anything you want to specialize it, you will find it here in Russia. Radiology, so many specialties, so you can always, you have a variety of specialty to choose from. So now this takes me to the third thing. What are the requirements to apply for clinical residency? Just be a graduate of a medical university in Russia. So you don't have to own just a red diploma. Even if you have a blue diploma, you can apply for residency in Russia. It is not like for some specific field. No, it's open to all. You can apply for residency. So the next thing I want to share about is what actually happens during clinical residency. So I started my clinical residency September 23rd. So it makes it about a month and a few weeks since I started. And we also had a week off because of the lockdown. So it's not like I have started this for so long. However, I can share from what I know right now, and with time I'm going to share more information as well. So it's divided into like 3 parts. So you have your clinicals, that is in the hospital. So you go to the hospital every other day and you have shifts, okay? Then you also have lectures. It could be like 4 times a week, or 4 times a month, or 8 times a month. It depends on your, that's something I want to put out as well. Your clinical residency experience will depend on your school. It will depend on the hospital that you've chosen, and it will depend on the specialty that you've chosen. Now let me tell you what I mean. I am in the dermatovenerology specialty, and if I'm being honest, our schedule is really flexible compared to surgery or orthopedics, or other specialties that are really rigorous like anesthesiology or intensive care. So in my case, we have daily shifts, so we don't have any night shifts, we don't have calls, we don't have whatever, we just have only day shifts. So I work 7 hours in the day in the hospital. So it depends on the schedule that is available that day. So it could be like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's like in the dermatology specialty, at least in my own faculty. That's what happens. In your case, if you are doing surgery, for example, you're in the theater, having shifts, you're having calls. But for dermatology, at least with what I know at the moment, that's what I have. So another thing to note is during your stay in the hospital, or during your clinical training in the hospital, you are going to be moved, you are going to be rotated into different parts, okay? So right now I'm in the outpatient department, so patients are coming for the first time. That's like where I'm being placed at the moment. Usually you are being built up, so like you stay there, and after a while you move to polyclinic, you move to the admission department. That's basically how it goes. You are being rotated in different areas or different parts of your specialty, exactly. So another thing to note is under your specialty there are subspecialties, and basically what I'm trying to say is there are other courses that you will be doing, okay? So we have dermatology, general dermatology, we have allergology, study of allergy, you have trichology, that is hair, you have cosmetology as well under dermatology, okay? So basically you're going to pass through all these several parts, like you're just, guys, and this is all in the space of 2 years. So just like in medical school, you have 2 semesters in a year. During your clinical residency as well, you have 2 semesters in a year. You have the first semester and you have the second semester. So this leads me to the next part, which is lectures. So usually lectures last about 2 hours, 3 hours max. And at the moment, because of COVID, my lectures have been moved online. Usually we're having offline lectures, okay? So just like lectures are taken usually in school, you are having those kind of lectures as well. And then you're also going to have some extra classes. I have not started extra classes just yet. Like I said, I've just been 1 month in. So, but I know that later we are going to have extra classes, and this brings me to the third part, the theoretical part of your clinical residency. So you're actually going to write exams, you're going to get that truth at the end of semester. Guys, yeah, it's like the same thing you're doing in med school, you're going to do it here as well. Just that it's not as hectic as when you were in medical school. When I say it's not as hectic, it means you're not having like loads of tests and presentations and all that stuff, but you would have exam. I have one exam in winter, next year in January. Okay, so the same way you'll be giving Vaporska exam in, oh god guys, I forgot I'm speaking English. Questions to prepare for your exam. Okay, you also be giving that as well. It depends on your specialty, like I said, and your school. Yours could be 2 exams, but ours is 1 exam and 1 research work per semester. That's what I know from the orientation program that we have. That I have 1 exam and I have one research work per semester. So at the end of it all, I would have 4 research works. I'd have written 4 exams as well. And lastly, you are going to be given a certificate. The same way you have red diploma, blue diploma, you also have this in specialization as well, or in residency or clinical residency. You have that as well. So now this brings me to the next thing. What language of study? It is in Russian language, guys. I heard of some schools in some cities that do clinical residency in English, but you guys, we know the truth about English medium. It is not nechistic, okay? It's not pure English. It's not going to be the kind of experience you would have in an English speaking country. So don't even bother. So if you are interested in doing your clinical residency, you should just have a good grasp of Russian language. I won't say excellent because I am not excellent, but I have a grasp of it. At least I understand. I would say like I understand 80% and I speak 60%. Yeah. So, and I'm able to cope with it. Of course, every other day I'm learning. You guys, I go with like my notes to like my prium, guys. Prium. Straight up prium. What is Abila? Consultations, yes, the consultations. So I take notes. Any new word I've not heard before, any new disease, I write it down, and then when I get back, maybe I'm in the bus or I'm at home, I just check it out. Just basically, clinical residency is learn on the go. Like, it's not time to just sit down and be packing notes. No, the notes you're taking is just observation. Okay, this is what you can see for this patient. Okay, this is how we diagnose. Okay, this is how it is treated. For example, the 3 weeks I spent in the hospital, there are a couple of diseases that if you tell me about them, I know what the treatment is already, just because I've heard it over and over again. Patients with similar diseases. Okay, so like, and also there are like algorithms and guidelines that you follow. So once you pay attention to those things, that's it, you're good to go. So yeah, that's that with like what clinical residency entails. So in summary, we have clinicals, which is like the practicals, which is 80% of what you do or 70% of what you do, because I go to the hospital every single day. And then you have the theoretical parts, which is lectures and examinations or other courses that you would do. So now let's talk about the costs, guys. The same way you pay for your tuition fee in medical school, except you're on a scholarship, it's the same way in clinical residency. You are also going to be paying for your tuition, except you're on a scholarship. Yes, scholarships are available. However, the quota is not a lot. Many people apply, definitely, but the space allotted to scholarships every year is really small. So most people actually end up paying for their tuition fee. So yeah, let's talk about the tuition fee. So the tuition fee is about $4,000 to $8,000 or even more. It depends on the specialty. It depends on the school. It depends on the location. I am in Moscow, and dermatovenerology costs $6,000 here in Britain. So that's about 400,000 rubles, guys. Yes, it's that expensive. So if you are going to be doing it, be sure that this is what I really want to do. Okay, so for the scholarship opportunities, yes, there are scholarship opportunities. just go on educationinrussia.com. I've shared about this platform before. This is the official Russian government's education application portal. Okay, so they have scholarships for residency as well. So once you go on that site, just register already. If you're not registered, you should register already. By the way, I also mentioned, if you are going to apply for scholarship, I mentioned that you should try to take part in Olympiads. I shared it on my story also. You should try to take part in Olympiads right now. You should try to do some scientific work, have a publication in a journal, because it will increase your chances of being picked when you're applying for a scholarship. Okay, so yeah, when you go on that site, you register, you log in, and you fill in a form. So the required fields, I think your name, your date of birth, your passport page, visa page. Oh yes, you need a recommendation letter from your faculty. You can get it from your dean. Just tell them Pismo characteristic. It's like a letter of recommendation, or a letter about your character or your outstanding performance as a student. Another thing that you need is your academicheskaya spravka. So that's your transcript. So to like your first semester, or to the time you're applying, basically, just put all of that in. What else do you need? Yes, your medicals. Okay, so you need to get your HIV negative certificates, syphilis. What was that sound? Guys, can you hear it? So yes, syphilis, tuberculosis, you submit all of that or you attach it. Yes, and you need a certificate from your doctor that you are fit for study. Yes, that's all you need to apply for a scholarship. And yes, you have to write a research work. So I would advise that you contact the university that you would like to apply for their scholarship. So guys, there are about 6 universities that are under this scholarship scheme. It's not to any university. Just go on educationinrussia.ru. I know People's Friendship University is one of them, where I'm currently studying. I don't know the remaining ones off the top of my head, but there are about 6 universities. So whichever one you actually want to apply for, reach out to the head of faculty of that department of the specialty you want to apply to, and ask them for a topic for your research work. Just trust me, you find their contacts on Google. Just reach out to them, or reach out to somebody in that school. Look for someone in that school and ask them to help you get the contact of the teacher or something, and then you get a topic for your research work. You get it done, get it across. Either you come physically to the school, or you get someone that would submit on your behalf. Get the teacher's signature, and the teacher should also mark it as well, to be sure. I don't know, they're going to give you like a score, and basically all these things together are the things that you're going to apply for a scholarship. And then that thing I would say is that you should actually ask around for, again, in your school, in the school you want to apply to. Ask around, ask the students, or what's the scholarship situation like in your school? How do I apply? Because some schools also do scholarship applications. Like I said, just go to educationinrussia.com. Those 6 schools, just contact them or find a way to contact them. However, guys, like I said, there is no guarantee. Okay, there is no guarantee. It's just an option, but for the most part, you will be paying for your tuition fee. So how to apply? If you're going to be paying your tuition, you're going to write an exam. It's called an accreditation exam, but this one is for a particular specialty. So if you are thinking of doing that, I would advise that you download Medic Test. It's on Google Play Store and Apple. Or download Medic Test. I think you pay 99 rubles to access more of the app, but once you go on Medic Test, you would be able to see the MCQ questions. You guys, if you're familiar with the Russian system, you know that they have a system of past questions. Russians, they always repeat questions. So you will see like a file that contains the past questions of that exam. It's an MCQ exam, 60 questions. You'll be required to pass 70% of it. Once you do that, you go to the admission department you go to the admission department. I don't know about your school, but then you go to like the admission department for international students. Okay, so after you do that, they'll give you a slip to pay your school fees. Once you pay your school fees, you start your registration process and you are good to go. So yes, the school will extend your visa for you. Registration is based on how you choose to live, if you decide to live in a school hostel or you decide to get an apartment outside. So yeah, that's that with how to apply. So now, is it worth it? I would say that answer is actually up to you. One, why are you doing your clinical residency? Why? What's your aim? What do you want to achieve? Do you feel like you want to get extra years of training? Do you feel like you want to still stay in Russia for some time and transition to another country? So yeah, what's your aim for staying back? That's actually what will determine if it's going to be worth it for you. But one thing I can tell you is you will definitely learn. You see all those times when you were in undergrad, you were complaining, hey, we don't have practicals. Hey, they don't. By this time, during your clinical residency, you are addressed as a colleague. Yes, you are addressed as a colleague. You are addressed as a doctor. So you are going to be treated as one. For surgeries, you will be going to the theater. Dermatology, you'll be going with your senior doctor to check out patients. They will show you, oh, this is what is happening with this patient. This is what the pathological process is like. All those things. I'm not saying your experience will be the same with mine or with any other person. However, it depends on you and it depends on if you are willing to learn. I would tell you for sure you will learn. I said it like I'm just barely 1 month in this and I have learned so much already. Okay, the only tricky part is a specialty like dermatology. I would be very honest with you that sometimes I wish I would see a black person in clinic. I've never seen any black person in clinic or someone that is even of, I don't know, that is not Russian. All of them are Russian. So I know what the pathological process looks like on a Russian, but I'm not quite familiar with how that same process looks like on a black person, except through like pictures that I see online, which is not enough actually. So yeah, that's that with the tuition fee. Like I said already, you are not being paid, so you'd have to get a side job. So for me right now, I'm an English tutor for kids here in Moscow, and that's like my side job where I get like monthly salary. Just in case you are wondering how I'm able to do it or how I'm able to cope here. So like I tutor kids at a kindergarten and I'm being paid monthly. So yeah, that's that with like the tuition fee. Guys, lastly, another thing I want you to know is that you'll be writing a final exam, an accreditation exam to get you licensed as a specialist in Russia in your field. So once you are done with your 2 years, you are going to write in an accreditation exam. So you also want to prepare for that. So the last thing I would just like to address is what are the tips? So tips for like coping during residency. Number one, have a goal in mind. Why are you doing the residency? Like I shared already, why are you here? If you know why you are here, it will be able to guide your steps or guide how you want to move ahead. If you want to stay back in Russia, you want to like live here and you want to actually become like a very good specialist in your field and be recognized here, you already start working towards it. The first step, learn your Russian language. Yup, it's that easy. Learn your Russian language because you need it. You need it to speak with patients. You need it to understand lectures. You need it to, guys, without Russian language, what are you doing? Yeah, guys, this is just a hard pill to swallow. Without Russian language, there's almost nothing you can do here in Russia. At least if you're about to forge ahead, like you want to like do something as huge as doing your clinical residency, you need Russian language. I shared already, at least 80% understanding, 60% speaking. If you don't have that, train and get better at it. You thought I was going to tell you don't try. No. Train and get better at it. So another thing I would like to say is don't be scared. Don't be scared. Take this from me, you people. I was scared to my bones. Number one, I felt like my knowledge of Russian language is low because I schooled in English language, and I just felt like, oh my god, will I be able to cope? Guys, I was in shock that this language is in my head. It's just that it's been hiding somewhere there. But basically, what I can tell you is the more you speak, the more you exercise what you know. So as you listen, talk more, and that's it. You'll be fine. Another thing I would say is you have time even during your clinical residency. Well, hold up. It depends on your specialty. For me, in my specialty, the reason why I still have time to create content on weekends is because of the flexibility of my schedule. I work 7 hours a day. Okay, I don't have 9 shifts. I have lectures. So basically, what I do is I go to the clinic, observe, learn, take notes, try things out myself, and off to work. I shared already that I tutor English, so I go off to work in the evenings, and then I'm back home to probably work on my personal brand or just to study. And basically, that's just my current cycle at the moment. Okay, so yeah, that's just like the tip I would have for you. So, guys, another thing I'll say is just research, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Like, ask people that have done it before you. For me, I'm really grateful. Thank you, Dr. Promise and Dr. Issa Gerard. If you are watching this, I doubt I doubt they would, but I really owe it to them. Guys, another thing I would say is you need a community. You cannot be a lone ranger. Have your guy. Have your guy. The same things I shared in my video of struggles of being a medical student is applicable here as well. Have friends, guys. Have community. There are group chats. Like our group chat is where all the general information is being shared. People are sharing cases that they saw and all this stuff, and we just get to learn together. I also have a particular course mate. God bless you, Leila. I know she doesn't watch my videos because she's very busy, but I met Leila during my registration, and Leila has been like a blessing to me. I cannot imagine doing this alone. I told you guys, like, you always need people. Find your tribe, find the people that you roll with. And another thing I'll say is be humble. You don't know anything, just come as you are. Come with an open heart. This sounds like a sermon, guys. It sounds like I'm about to preach. I say come with an open heart, but yes, come with an open mind, to learn every other day. And don't ever beat yourself up. It's okay if you don't know anything. Just be focused on learning, and every other day focus on that. The last thing, you need God. This should have even been the first thing I would have said. My life, guys, my life is a testament of God's favor. From the thoughts of even doing my clinical residency to actually getting here, to everything that just aligned on my path, guys, trust God, pray, trust Him for favor. Okay, trust Him for favor. He'll bring the right people to you. He'll place you in the right hospital. He'll grant you the right jobs. He'll give you great patience. Guys, don't leave God out of your life. You really need God, because God has been my strength. It's not easy at all. That's one thing I'll tell you. It's not easy at all. It's daunting. There are so many things to be afraid of, but with God, all things are possible. I just thank God and the Holy Spirit in my life. Personally, that's my secret weapon. People that know me, closely, I always share testimonies, personal testimonies, every single day on this journey since I started my clinical residency. Especially since I moved to Moscow, and God has been faithful. So don't leave God out of this. So yeah, that's that with clinical residency in Russia based on my 1 month experience. If you have any more questions, please share with me. The reason why I'm not able to vlog, being in the hospital and all that is because, guys, the creed, confidentiality. You have to be confidential. We're not allowed to take pictures of our patients. We're not allowed to vlog around the hospital. Everything has to be discreet. So you guys are not going to be getting a vlog of me inside the hospital. Sorry. Except, things change. Maybe I'm working at a private clinic and I'm giving more liberty. But for the most part, confidentiality, guys. We don't share things like that. So, yeah. At the moment, I'm actually being a medic. I did not think there's going to be a point in my life when I'll be like a serious medic like this. Reason being that I wanted to jackpot from medicine. But to Jesus be my glory, I found dermatology. And guys, after like a month here, I'm really glad that I allowed God to lead me in the right paths. This is a specialty for me, and I pray you find your own specialty as well. So yeah, I don't know, I've been talking so much and I forgot to mention, if you are new here, please subscribe to my channel. You get tips on living and schooling in Russia and so many other things that I'll share with you on my journey. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it. share it to every medical student that you know in Russia. I don't know how many medical students are here and medical foreign students are here, but I know that they need this video, because if you are prepared, you'll be ready, you know, to make a decision. And also this will help you to weigh your options. Oh, so now this is about the clinical residency. Okay, I don't know if I want to go for it, something like that. All right guys, I'll see you in my next video. Until then, stay blessed, stay glowing. I love you guys. Bye. Paka paka.